What's up, Friday edition? Ooh, that's a fucking... There we go. Friday edition, myself and Clemmer on Pick Central. Fresh off of a hot Mets win last night.
Woohoo! Yeah, I watched it on the plane.
It was an interesting way to win. The first time they had a runner in scoring position was the 10th.
Yeah, they didn't get many hits at all the entire game, and then Laureano overrunning the fly ball was something else.
Yeah, I thought the failed suicide squeeze was a bigger deal as well.
Yeah.
But when you're hot, you're hot.
Same guy, too.
Yeah, when you're hot, you're hot. So certain things are stealing wins. It's a win against the Braves that you had to have in this series. Keeps you on a hot streak. Like
feels like all the breaks are just kind of going the Mets' way. They have Senga going tonight. Senga has had 2 AAA starts. First one was really good. Second one was not so good. But he did give up a home run to like a big prospect. So like wasn't like he gave up a home run to a loser, like against the Nats system.
Yeah,
like their
I
best
think he has to be.
So.
He has to be elite. You have to solidify this front half of the rotation.
Yeah,
which is hard to ask.
Especially with
Christian coming back from an injury, but you need him back.
And the Mets lost Christian Scott. Sounds like possibly for the year. If the UCL is as bad as they fear, so we really need Senga to step up. The Mets need to make some moves too, though. The Mets need to shore up that bullpen. The Mets ideally would. I don't feel like we have that ace. Do you want to give up prospects for an ace? That's the other thing. You know, what's good? To get a guy like Screwball, it's going to cost, a fortune.
Right. I
mean, some people are speculating it might even cost Jackson Holiday. Which, do you do that trade? I mean, I don't think I would if I was the Orioles, but
right. The question: I'm glad nobody is here on the other side of the room for this one. Take the records aside. Mm-hmm. I know the Yankees are 16 games above 500, and the Mets are 6. Who's the better team right now?
Oh, it's easily the Mets. And the Mets are.
Which is hard to say because it's like take the records out, but like the Mets are just playing better. They just beat them. The Mets are a better way it's constructed. The Mets are a better team, flat out. Right
now, the Yankee fans would say, "All right, well, when we get Stanton back, which I think Stanton's beyond washed up, but he was at least a bat. They need bats. They need 2 legitimate bats. Now, can the Yankees go out and make trades? We saw a trade last night, a big trade for the Mariners. They went and got a Rosarena, but that's the kind of moves the Yankees need making. They need to go get 2 legitimate bats in that lineup because that lineup is. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. You have the 2 maybe best hitters in baseball, and then you have 7 guys that aren't, barely hitting my weight.
Are you comfortable saying that, Phil? That the Mets right now are a better team constructed than the Yankees?
Constructed, yeah.
Or the way they're playing
the way they're constructed as of right now. But as Clemmer said, it's like the Yankees also don't really need like superstars in their lineup. They already have 2.
Yes.
They just need three average players because they have a bunch of zeros in that lineup outside of like the 2 best hitters in the American League.
Right.
They just need any competent bat. That shouldn't be that hard to find, and it shouldn't cost that much. To go back to your Rosarena deal, they didn't give up that much to get him. That wasn't a big haul at all. And it's all right. There is a player to be named later. We don't know who that is yet. So maybe that is the big piece. But I would say looking at that, I was like, wow, the Mariners kind of got away with something.
Clemmer, just to note when it comes to these prospects that MLB Pipeline doesn't update their rankings till after a trade deadline. So while it looks like they gave up the 14th prospect.
I don't care much about the pipeline. I'm looking more at the numbers. I look at their minor league numbers. It's funny because I look at the AJ Puck deal. I know that's not a name that moves the needle a ton. But I feel like they got more for AJ. I really like that prospect, the guy, the Rule 5 guy, the outfielder. I like him a lot. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the Marlins almost got more back for Puck than the Rays got for Rosarena. I said there is a player to be named later. We don't know who that is.
Marlins made that deal with the Diamondbacks, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so Diamondbacks, they got another arm.
They're gearing up. I mean, they went to the World Series. They're a game out of the wild card. They're a game back or a game and a half back. So, yeah, they're still in it, too.
Did the Mariners get better?
Did the Mariners get better? The Mariners didn't just get better. The Mariners got a lot better. And this is and I know people are going to look at Rosarena's stats and be like, he's having a bad year. But look at his last 2 months. Phil, can you pull up the tweet I had, or can someone pull up the tweet I had
this is a tweet
last
that
night?
Says the Mariners' title odds got worse after trading for Randy Rosarena.
That's just, I don't know what that means. That's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. That's weird.
Clemmer tweeted out his monthly.
Yeah,
stats.
you can pull up the tweet I have because this is, I think, really tells a story about Rosarena. Rosarena had a horrendous April and May, but since June he's back to the guy that we know, and that's the guy the Mariners are getting, and the Mariners beyond need him. I mean, the idea that a Rosarena makes them worse, I just don't. It doesn't make any sense. It's this bizarro world. And it's exactly what they need. That team can pitch lights. Yeah, check that out. So his June and July, that's the Randy Rosarena we know. But the April and May, I think you have to kind of almost throw it out. Would you agree, Phil?
Yes. At the same time,
I mean, that's pathetic.
Seattle's a very tough place to hit, and like everyone that goes there, it's just dead fly balls. So I mean, hopefully Randy hits well for them.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Phil. But we do see guys that can't hit there. I mean, Sager hit. Kyle Sager hit there for a long time. I mean, guys can hit there. Is Arozarena going to have the same numbers that he had with playing in Tampa? Probably not. But he's going to have numbers that mean as much.
Yeah.
Because the visiting teams have trouble hitting there too.
It's a move the Mariners had to make. But at the same time, I could see us ending up where like, oh, Randy struggles to hit in Seattle, and before you know it, the Rays end up having these two great players that they end up flipping 5 years down the line, like how they always do.
I don't know.
Like, it's a move the Mariners had to make. I think they should have made it. I can see it blowing up somehow.
And Arozarena is under contract for a while. He's under
2 more years.
2 more years after this, right?
Yeah.
So like that's a great deal for the Mariners. This gives them a guy with Julio Rodriguez now. Like that's a major piece. Like that Mariner, I gotta say, man, I looked at the return. I had to like triple check it last night.
Why do you think their odds went up then? Why do you think their odds went up?
You mean down?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, right. Why did they go the wrong way? I don't know. I don't know. It's stupid to me. Like it doesn't make any sense.
No, Phil, their odds went up.
No, they went down. Duke showed the graphic.
It went from the odds got worse.
That means their odds went up.
I think however you want to
Yeah.
I know it's a weird way to say it, but their odds went up.
Yeah, their odds went. Technically, they did go up. Yes.
This is a Bosco thing. They did go up. Yep.
I don't even think it's a Bosco.
So right now,
Actually, all right, no. Let's
the number went
solidify
up.
it. What is the better way to say that?
Well, the odds did go up,
Because the odds went. If the odds go down,
it's better. It's like golf.
better.
I would say it's like up would be closer to even.
No.
So if the odds, that's how I would say it.
If I'm saying I like a team to win the World Series, it's at 10-1, and then you try to get it the next day, and you come in and you say, yeah, the odds went down. Like I tried to bet that the odds went down. That means the odds went to 8-1. No?
I wouldn't take it that way.
I think that's the way to phrase it.
I'm not saying.
What's
you're
the
right.
chat saying? Vote up or down.
Bosco looks awful, but no.
Oh no.
No, it's just funny. Yeah, stay on the line. We're gonna do calls today, right?
Right. Yeah, I think it's.
Chat said that. Chat didn't really say anything.
I think it's down. If it gets worse, the odds go up.
Yeah, I would
You know
just
who
phrase
you
it differently.
could
Say
you
likelihood
call-
or probability or
You
something.
know who you should call if you can? Could you get Brad Powers? I feel like he's a guy that would.
Oh yeah, I'd listen to Brad on that.
Yeah. I don't want to put him on the spot.
Could you text him?
Yeah, it's a pretty
Definitely
controversial
text
question. Yeah, I can see why. Why wouldn't you want to put him on the spot with that, Rico? You're not asking about abortion.
Hey, Brad,
you're asking about like.
Hey, Brad, I have a really important question to ask you.
Yeah, it's the odds are up or
Bosco,
down.
I'm not telling you who I'm voting for.
You're referring to odds going from plus 1,000.
The Mariners, by the way, 35-1 to win the World Series right now. I mean, that's a big ask, but to win that division, that gets a little interesting, right? Take a look at that.
I had a tweet last night.
All right, so came up on the show. If you were referring to odds going from plus 10,000 to plus 8,000, do they say you went up? Do you say they went up or down?
Mariners
He's gonna think I'm an idiot, but
Mariners plus 200 to win the West. The Astros are minus 145. I like them to make the playoffs. Let me see what that odds are. I'm very high on Seattle because I believe they have all the pieces. They just need that. They need 2 bats and they got 1. They are plus 140 to make the playoffs. I think I'm gonna bet that like right now.
I also think that the more that I think about this is just from no baseball analysis, just from looking at the sportsbook thing. If maybe the sports books are like, if they traded for Randy Arozarena, somebody else must be hurt, or they might know that there's like an injury down the line that like
I don't know
might affect it more.
who could be. I don't know anyone that unless it's like a catastrophic like plague.
I saw like something. Aren't 2 players like hurt right now that like just got on the injured list?
for Seattle. Do you know this, Phil?
I think Julio's fine. He almost
Yeah,
grifted
like,
himself the other day.
I saw
but-
one more player, I think, but I don't know.
I'm taking the Mariners to make the playoffs plus 140.
I mean, sheesh.
What's that face?
Yeah, the Mariners are still like, they're not that great. Like I like Houston better.
No, just to make the playoffs though. They need all.
I mean,
that's a wild card.
are the
then.
AL West gonna have two teams? Like,
Well, the Red Sox are frauds. We're seeing that in real time.
are they?
No, they just traded.
They
for
also
James
the Red
Paxton.
Sox just made a trade, by the way, right before we went on. They acquired James Paxton from the Dodgers. Of course, Paxton pitched for the Red Sox last year. The Dodgers DFA'd him, so I'm sure the return wasn't very much.
It was a no-name player.
All right, they already announced it.
Yeah.
I know. That's his name? No name.
Yeah, there's no name.
That's good. It's good research, Phil. The Mariners right now are 3.5 out of the wild card. They're a game out of the division. You don't believe in him?
I think Houston's a better team.
All right, in the wild card, do you think the Twins, Yankees, and Royals right now are your wild card? The Red Sox are on the outside looking in.
I think the Yankees are going to hold on. I think the Royals are pesky, but they could get past them.
I think the Yankees hold on to
I
it.
don't know about the Twins.
I think the Red Sox are a playoff team.
I do not.
I do too.
Their schedule is incredibly hard the rest of the way. They get exposed against good teams. And they have guys like, this is my pick of the day, is against Bayo. Like, Brian Bayo is terrible right now. I had the Yankees, my play of the day is Yankees over 4.5 runs against Bayo.
Yeah, well,
Yankees are due.
this weekend, you could say maybe it's a Yankees like statement weekend, Red Sox statement weekend.
Absolutely.
Like this is like as important a series these two teams have had in like
A long
2
time.
Long
2
time.
years, 3 years.
It's a
Long
huge series.
time.
Is that Sunday game on ESPN, Phil?
Yes,
You know?
that's a Sunday night game.
Okay.
I kind of hate the Yankees Red Sox on Sunday Night Baseball.
Why?
It feels like it's every other week.
It does, but this one means something. Like
Yeah.
these games are actually important.
Yeah, I can't tell you the last Sunday night game I watched regularly if it wasn't the Mets.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it though. I throw it on Sunday
I don't
nights.
know.
I mean, do I like?
Isn't Ravitch involved in the broadcast?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go.
You could watch the K-Rod with Michael K and A-Rod sometimes.
I don't like Michael K.
I like Michael K.
Fucking hate Michael. K.
Really?
I don't like Michael
You
K.
know who I hate more? Dom.
Look at my legs. What is this? Huh? That's a
And
nice
Pete-
look. Is that
Pete
for the
Rosenberg could
ladies,
go-
Phil?
Pete Rosenberg could go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Phil, anytime you see what Phil just did to me? He just did a close up. He just isolated my legs. Why do you fuck with the camera all the time, Phil?
Not my idea. That was Dukes' idea.
That's dudes.
No, it wasn't.
Why?
You go. Are we gonna open up on Clemmer's legs? I go. We can have a camera angle there. If you
So that
want.
was your idea, Phil?
No, that was Dukes' idea.
See, he can't even take ownership over his own.
Hey, just own it, Phil. It's okay. You know who doesn't take ownership, Phil? Cowards.
So the Mariners get better. Who
Nothing, huh, Phil? All right. All right.
Mariners get better. Who do you want or what teams are potentially making deals? What have you heard? What's being moved around?
I keep hearing, not that this is a huge name, but Jamison Tyon from the Cubs. I keep hearing the Orioles.
Cubs are in
attached to
last
him.
place, right? The Cubs are over.
Cubs are fucked. They are in last place, but the bigger thing
He's
is
going to have to give that up.
they're 5.5 out of the wild
He's
card.
going to have to give up the shtick of the Cubs.
They're gonna have to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a path for the Cubs.
That's over.
They're 5.5 out. Not only that, but they have to climb over 7 teams to get
Yeah,
the
it's
wild
over.
card. So they're fucked. The Padres are for real. I think they believe they're for real. The Mets, obviously, we talked about them. The Braves are fucked right now. The Braves are floundering. Everyone's hurt for them. You might see them make a move. And then we just saw Arizona. That's in it. So this is what's so interesting, these moves like today. So what do we learn in the last 12 hours? We learned that the Red Sox are buyers. We learned that the Diamondbacks are buyers. Like, that's interesting to me. It's like, all right, so those guys are not, because those guys could just as easily be sellers.
Rays are sellers.
The Rays are sellers. Right.
Blue Jays will be sellers, obvious
The
sellers.
Blue Jays have so many pieces to sell, and the fact that the trade deadline's Tuesday, we're 5 days out and they haven't made one move is jarring to me.
Yeah.
They should be making moves
A
every
lot
day.
of these moves happen like right under the gun.
It's tough, though, because some of the contracts are moving are huge.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to move Gassman. I don't know if they're going to move Bassett. You have Vladdy Jr. Bichette's hurt now, so that's off the table probably. They have a lot of guys, and they even have some relievers like Chad Green. They have a lot of pieces, I think, to move, and they're just standing still. I don't get that at all.
The Toronto Blue Jays say they believe they can compete in 2025. I do not think they can.
That's a bad. If they swing and miss again, they will have gone down as the Blue Jays as that window.
They're the White Sox.
Did they make the playoffs?
Yes.
Yes, they never won a playoff game. They made it 3 times, 0-6.
What? No, from what years did they make the playoffs?
2020, 2022, and 2023.
So they did make it 3 times. Damn, I didn't realize they made it 3 times.
0-6 in those 3 times.
I think 2021 was the year that I loved them. 2021 was the year I loved them to win the World Series. That was probably their better team.
they won 90 games.
That was a 3-game. That was Phil. That 2021 was when it was a 3-game run, right? They had the Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays all down to the final day, or the Red Sox stunk. I think it was. I don't know what it was, but it was crazy. I like that team, But yeah, they'll go down as a paper tiger. Like their window will have closed.
Oh, they were really
They
good
can
at
compete
winning.
in 2025. How do you think you're going to compete in 2025? You have two teams clearly better than you in the division, and the Red Sox are no slouch either.
Yeah. And the
Orioles
and,
and
and now look what the Mariners did today.
And the Yankees are playing like shit, and the Yankees are better than you.
And the Mariners just got a Rosarena, not just for this year, for next year,
Right.
and the year after. Like the Blue Jays, that window's closed, guys. Guess what? It's over. It's over. It's dead. Move guys like Jose Barrios. Move these guys. You're not going to win. You got to blow everything up.
And the Rays are never a dead dog last place team.
No.
Always going to compete.
Their analytics are too good. Their farm system's too good. They're always going to at least they even have a great prospect, Junior Caminero. We haven't really seen much of him yet. So, like, they have guys in the wings that are going to be coming up. Right. The Rays are always going to have that pipeline full. Plus, the Rays always trade these guys, just like they just did with the Rosarena, so they keep getting new guys in that pipeline. Yeah, you can't. The Rays shouldn't blow it up. They won't. And they're also getting a new stadium that finally got approved. That it's a stadium with a roof. They're not calling it a dome. The roof is fixed. So the Rays will still be the only team in baseball with a fixed roof.
Yeah. The word in from Brad Powers, he said down. From 10 to 8 is down. So I was right.
That doesn't mean you're necessarily right or wrong. It's just Brad agrees with your opinion. Because then somebody in the chat said I was right.
Okay.
No. I'll take the win.
All right, fine. You take the win.
Yeah. I'll take the win because I like the chat better than
You
Brad
take the win.
Powers.
You take the win. You take the win. You take the win.
Congratulations, dude.
It all makes it. It's all just splitting hairs.
Give me 1 second. I'm working on a call.
I had a tweet last night. I went to the Mets game. First off, the Mets rock. Mets game, Citi Field is so fun. Place was bumping. But I said that for a casual baseball fan, the pitch clock ruined the game for me.
Couldn't disagree more.
Dude, it made it way better.
It's so much better.
Games were flying.
I don't know how it can. Did you? You said you wanted to go to a 4-hour game. Like that's not fun for me.
So again, I think you guys are hardcore baseball fans. So
Yeah.
You want to watch as many games as possible. Which, if I was a hardcore baseball fan and I want to see as many games as possible, I totally agree with that. But for me, that wants to just go to like 4 or 5 games a year, drink some beers. Like if I go to get a beer or like food or like a Pat LaFrida steak sandwich, which is so bomb.
The best concession at any ballpark.
What is it? The Pat LaFrida steak
Pat
sandwich?
LaFrida steak sandwich. It's the best.
It's just like I get it, like from like a viewership standpoint, like the games on TV are way better. Like even if I would just want to tune into a random game, it is way better on TV. But going to the game, it's like you go to the concession lines and you miss 25% of the game.
Yeah, you gotta be smart and calculated with what you do. That's true.
The whole way that I'm gonna approach going
Yeah.
to a baseball game now is totally different. And I saw some people make like good points, being like, if you're 3 hours away from Cleveland and you want to go see like a Guardians game, like is it even worth going?
Yeah, that boggles my attitude is if you want to be there 4 hours, just get there when the gates open and just enjoy batting practice, and you still get your 4-hour experience.
Yeah.
And I will say the first
I think that's
hour you're there, the lines are super small, so you can then like get go on a bunch of beer runs.
That's what I
Just
said.
do that.
My approach to the going to a game is now going to change.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I think making it's way more watchable. On TV, in person, like it's not a 4-hour spectacle.
I think it's one of the most special things about baseball is it being like 3 hours.
Yeah.
He should be a cold caller.
I need more. What's going on with Phil back? Did we hear Phil?
There's potentially a bigger caller. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. And Phil's on the line with that caller right now.
I think so.
Look at that, Phil.
All right, I'll put you guys through.
Oh, he's excited.
We have a caller on the line.
I don't know who this is. This is great. Good job, Phil.
Depending on his location, I think it could be Mike in Saratoga. Hello?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Saratoga with my dad, and James told us to call in, so I heard you guys talking baseball.
Yeah. Are you in the car with Dad?
Yep, I'm right here. Hey, guys.
All right.
All right, Mike Francis.
Hello, Mr.
On
Francis.
the line.
This is great.
So, Mike, is it a crazy thing to say, take the records aside of it, the Mets are a better baseball team than the Yankees right now?
I don't think they're a better team pound for pound. If the Yankees get things fixed, which I think they can do, and get Stanton back, the Yankees, and get a relief pitcher, they need a swing and miss reliever, which I think they'll get in the trade. The Yankees are going to have to unleash some of their very good prospects, though, to get this done. And they desperately, desperately need a leadoff batter. It's a crime that they don't have anybody who can bat in front of Soto and Judge. They don't have anybody who can put up even an honest on-base percentage. They should go get a guy like McMahon from the Rockies who's got a 360 on-base percentage. Put him up first, and they'll be fine. I think overall, pound for pound, the Met bullpen is going to be very hard to fix down the stretch of the season. And the Mets have a tough schedule. They have a couple of trips to the West Coast. I think the Met pitching, their lineup is really good and really deep, and they've gotten a lot out of Iglesias and Vientos and Alvarez, and now McNeil's coming back. I would have liked McNeil to come to the Yankees and play for them. I thought it was a good fit when the Mets didn't want him. But I think the Met pitching is very vulnerable, especially the relief pitcher.
That's just true. And the Mets bullpen has been kind of a nightmare all year. The Yankees do need a leadoff hitter. The Rockies have said they're not trading McMahon now. The Rockies do everything ass backwards. So
that means they want more for him. They will definitely trade him, but they want to get into the Yankee real good stock now. The question is, will the Yankees part with anybody of any meaning in their system? They've been very, very much against that to get what they need, and they desperately need a leadoff batter.
What is the Mets' ceiling on the other side of the glass? Can you see them making a CS? Like, is this kind of lightning in a bottle? Should they trade some prospects at the deadline, or should they try and get some stopgap type guys, a reliever, maybe a nice hitter to add to the lineup, but they're not going all in on guys like Bichette, and they're not doing things like that, correct?
They don't have enough. No, I would not do that. They don't need offense. They don't need any offense. They need 1, 2, 3 relief pitchers. They're not going to get any quality starting pitchers. If they're going to get the kid from Detroit, Skubal, they're going to have to pay through the nose to get him. You know what? That's not going to happen. I don't think that's realistic. But if they need not one, they need 2 quality relievers minimum. But they can make a wild card because there's a lot of mediocrity in the National League. I don't think they can go far in the playoffs with that pitching staff.
What do you think to expect from Senga moving forward? Is he going to be back to himself? Is he going to be kind of okay? I know it's hard to tell. It's like a crystal ball, but what do you expect out of Senga tonight and moving forward?
I like Senga. I think he's going to have to be part of a 6-man rotation because even at his best, he was only good when he pitched on the 6th day. So I think they're going to have to go to a 6-man rotation. But I think he could be very, very good for them. And the team has a really good culture right now. And let's be honest, everybody's Bash Lindor. He is having a sensational couple of months. Really, he's been unbelievable lately.
He's been great.
MVP type.
He should be an MVP type candidate. Absolutely. Here's a name for you. I think the Yankees need more than a leadoff hitter, but a leadoff hitter is absolutely what they need. They need even more bats. But like Jonathan India from the Reds, I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Yankees. They're not going to need him next year. They have an influx of infielders, the Reds do, and he has a 374 on base this year.
I think he would help. I agree. I didn't think it's just McMahon. I just think McMahon they can get. I prefer a lefty if I can get him. But listen, for the Yankees to get back to play really well, they have got to get Volpe and Verdugo going because they can't bury those guys. So they need Stanton back. They need a leadoff hitter. They need a swing and miss reliever. But they need to get Volpe and Verdugo going because they got to play those guys.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird year in baseball in terms of you've seen these wild card teams get hot and then get to a World Series. We've seen a lot of weird World Series winners in the past couple of years. It seems like I think it's going to be a chalk year in terms of one of the winners will be the Phillies, Orioles, Yankees, Dodgers. I feel like it's just going to be one of those 4. If you were looking at a sleeper and somebody did make a run and make their way through the World Series, who's the team you like?
I don't think there's a sleeper in the NL. I think the Astros are a sleeper.
Really?
Yep. I think the Astros could be back in the World Series.
They're playing red hot right now. They have a 1-game lead over Seattle. Seattle did just get a Rosarena, so I think they could be a player as well. But yeah, the Astros, the last month and a half have been awesome.
Hey, and they know how to win. And they're going to get a couple of their pitchers back. They've played without a lot of guys this year, and they know how to win, and they know how to win in October. That's a big, big advantage. This is a critical year a critical time for the Yankees. They can't sit on their hands this year. Now talk to Harrison.
Yeah. You've been watching Hard Knocks, Mike, with the Giants?
I have, yes.
What do you make of the way that the whole Saquon thing came down?
Highly predictable. But you know what? No team can spend a lot of money on a running back.
Right.
The position is obsolete. That's all there is to it. It's complete. Just like linebacker, inside linebacker, and running back have become obsolete positions in the NFL. It's just the way it is.
How do you think Jones is going to be?
If he's healthy, he'll be better than average, but he's good enough to get somebody fired.
Is there any pathway to the Giants making the playoffs this year? NFC's pretty weak, but that Giants offense, you just can't trust it.
I think the Giant defense and the offensive line are going to be better. I think they'll be better, but I don't think they're going to be anything special. I think that Saquon will have a very big year with the Eagles, but I don't think they have anything serious in them as far as a deep run. I think the Jets, if they can keep the man from Mars healthy, they can go a very long way.
We were talking, Rico, you had a crazy stat this morning.
81-12. Rodgers is 81-12 in his career when his defense gives up less than 20 points. The Jets average 19.6 allowed.
I'll tell you this. I've been watching the NFL for 40 years. I've never seen a better quarterback than Rodgers.
Really?
Yep.
Ahead of Mahomes, ahead of Brady?
Physically, I've never seen a better quarterback.
But do you think the Jets' path is that they have to win the division and host a home playoff game? Because going on the road, if you look at that gauntlet, you're talking like, let's say it's going on the road for Houston, Baltimore, and then Kansas City. That's a tall order, even with Rodgers.
I like their chances a lot more if their coach misses the bus.
All right, that's a good way to get you out. So he thinks the Astros. Who else are you looking at that like they could really just raise and go nuts?
Well, Mike brought up a really interesting point with Scooble, because he is a difference maker. Like, he's that good. He was really great last year. He's having an amazing year this year. If he goes, he's like the one ace. So if he goes to it, like the Orioles, right? Imagine the Orioles have him and Burns. Now we're talking like, so like, but for that to happen, like I said, the Orioles might need to give up Jackson Holiday, who's like maybe the best prospect in baseball. Would you do that? Would you do a 1-for-1 like that? And it's more than just the prospect for the pitcher. You're also getting 6 years of control. So that's the kind of, it gives me a little bit of pause if I was an Orioles fan. But like, Screwball goes to the Astros. They've had a lot of pitching injuries, and Mike was right. Like, they're getting some guys back, but yeah, they need some. They're still starting the guy named Spencer Arrighetti, who's terrible. The Dodgers are an interesting team to me. Dodgers have been very good all year, but they've kind of underwhelmed. They've had some injuries. Yamamoto's been hurt. Obviously everyone knows Ohtani can't pitch this year. Kershaw just got him back yesterday. They're getting some pieces back, but
breaking news.
Oh my God! All right,
what do you got? I want to say
better be good.
It better be fucking good.
No, it may knock Clemmer's socks off.
All right, I like that.
The Phillies have acquired outfielder Austin Hayes from the Orioles for Seranthony Dominguez and Christian Pache.
Did that knock you off your socks?
It wasn't.
Knock your socks
off.
Yeah.
Phil made it sound like Walter Cronkite on November 22nd, 1963 with that intro, but it was it's an interesting trade. It's weird to see two teams that are very good trade with each other.
I legitimately thought, like, oh my God, like, this is.
I'm like, Screwball just got traded. This is like.
It's unbelievable. Phil is.
Imagine how Phil would Phil. How are you going to react if there actually is major news?
I thought like David Ortiz came out of retirement.
Austin Hayes is a good player.
Phil, he has a slugging percentage of .395 this year. Has 3 home runs.
Yeah, but there's that big left field wall in Baltimore.
You think that was worthy of you screaming breaking news like that?
Yes, I mean Seranthony Dominguez is a pretty big name pitcher. Like, he's the biggest.
He's doing a bit, right?
I don't know. I can't.
I can't tell.
I mean, if Smitty was sitting in a seat, he'd be going nuts.
Do you have
Seranthony Dominguez, by the way,
I don't think Phil. I think Phil has to run by.
Yeah.
Breaking news with me first.
Yes.
I would agree with
100%.
that. I mean, that's a new rule.
This has been like 5 times.
Yeah.
Where every breaking news he has in the show stinks.
I mean,
Get up the line.
Dominguez 4.75 ERA this year, by the way, in relief, 38 games. I mean, he's fine-ish,
Where
I
would
guess.
this-
He's having a bad year. I don't.
One being the lowest to what's a big breaking news
But,
story?
okay,
Like a giant trade, one of the biggest baseball trades in history.
Okay, but
Like
Clemmer,
the-
does this take the Phillies out of like a Luis Robert deal? Is this
No.
their outfielder to get?
No, this is a bench piece, Phil.
Is it?
Yes.
We'll
Yes.
see.
He's not going to start. He's not like you. What do you think this is?
I'm
This is
asking the
this is
questions.
two good teams shuffling some bench pieces.
Decent question.
You think that was legitimately worth interrupting and screaming breaking news like a maniac?
Yes.
Okay. I mean,
honestly, for the show entertainment value, that
by the way, Christian Pache, his slugging percentage this year is .269. So I mean, that's all right, Phil. Thank you. That was good. It's good job.
Unreal.
I'm hearing Luis
have
Robert
any
to the
calls?
Orioles. Yeah,
You do?
yeah. We got the cold caller over here.
All right. Let's load him up.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I want to hear from the callers too. Do the callers think that was worth breaking news from Phil?
Gary from Queens, you're on.
Gary from Queens.
Oh, hello, Gary.
Least exciting trade of all time that I just did that for.
What's up? You cut out on that one. Sorry.
I said that was the least exciting trade of all time. That Bill just
There you go.
so
Yeah,
great.
exactly. That's what he does.
Tough to follow Francesa, but it was an honor to let him have the airwaves before me.
Yep.
Rico, you know me as a Johnny's guy, but 2022 broke me. The last year and a half, I haven't been like day to day, living and dying with every pitch like I was prior to 2022. They've wrote me back in. I'm officially all the way back in. Summer of the Mets. Ready to get my heart broken. My question for you guys, and it's good to have Clemmer on here. He's an historian. Has there ever been a Mets team like this where, you know, the first month of the season I could care less, didn't even like look at the scores, where they just went from like unwatchable baseball to now maybe the most exciting team in the league?
Yeah.
Like I can't think of even any other sport where a team's just on a 180. They haven't even really made a move.
What
So
was
it's
the?
I mean, there was a very great example, the 73 Mets. They start off horrible, and that's when the phrase "you got to believe."
Right.
Tug McGraw said it in the clubhouse, and then they went to the World Series, went to the 7th game against the A's, and then lost. But yeah, that's I think an example of a team that was playing like shit and then turned it around like on a coin.
You know, you made a point there though of heartbreak. I don't think it's heartbreak. We're kind of playing with house money.
No, they're getting us. No, I completely agree with Garrett. They're starting to get us in. Like now, I'm getting hooked. And now,
Yeah, but it was such a bad year. It was.
I know,
now
but-
I just wanted a summer. I just wanted a meaningful baseball in the summer, and we have that.
they're hooking my heart though, Rico. They're
Yeah.
starting to pull me in. You know how it is, and then they're gonna
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
take my legs out in September.
Yeah, but what do you really expect the ceiling to be on this team? You
Now
think
I'm
they can
starting
win
to
a
get-
World-
I'm
They're not a World Series team.
Why?
Come on, they're not a World
You
Series.
thought the Diamondbacks were World Series team last year?
No,
You thought the Phillies were 2 years ago?
No.
I didn't either.
it's a good point. I guess you just
Yeah, in the format that we're in now,
You gotta be in
just
the
gotta
dance.
get in.
I know. You just got to get in.
Yeah.
I
And
hate
thing is,
the format,
Mets-
but
the thing with the Mets too, it's like it's crazy to think about. They've only been in the playoffs 10 times in their history. The last 2 have been the wild card, which they were barely even in it. So it's
Right.
like I'm just killing for a series. I'm just
I
killing for
know.
a division
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, division series.
yeah,
would be
win a round, right? Like just get us have something to build off of. I completely agree. If they won a playoff round, but you know how it is. It's not house money because then you start getting your hopes up again.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm starting to get sucked in, and I'm
I don't know.
hating
I would love to
myself
see
for it.
Cohen. I would love to see Cohen shock the world and go all in on Skubal.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, now you're talking
think the
Skubal,
team-
Sanga, Severino's giving you some things like.
You got Manaya's your game 4. That's not bad. You know who's changing the game? Like Jose Budo is so good. Like
Yeah.
he goes out there, he gives you 3 innings of like basically shutout, unhittable baseball, and that's the bridge to Diaz. I don't know, man. I'm starting to get excited.
Yeah, but who's the guy that no one's talking about? Like everyone keeps saying Skubal. There's got to be a guy out there that they can go get without mortgaging the farm. I'm thinking back to like
How are some of the Reds
when
guys?
we had-
Doesn't the Reds have that guy Green?
They have Hunter Green.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an all-star this year. But the Reds are going to be not going to want to trade these guys because they have them under Cub control for a while.
Yeah.
The Reds have one guy that's free agent Frankie Montas, but he's been horrible this year. You don't want him.
Montes is
He ever since he got hurt with
He was
the
good
Yankees.
with the A's,
Yeah,
but
and he's
no.
been so like there aren't a lot of bad teams that have good pitchers. That's the problem.
But I think there's guys worth
That's why
taking a
they're bad
flyer on. Like
teams.
think about like 15, like a guy like Cologne who was like a kind of like at the end of his career, he helped us a lot. Like there's
Right.
got to be a pitcher out there.
But remember, that was a
that's
free
worth
agent
to
signing,
take a
though.
flyer on.
Yeah.
That was
I know, but just the same caliber.
I think we got to get lightning in a bottle. I
Well,
do.
you want a guy that's like that a little bit? Chris Bassett from the Blue Jays. We had him before as a
I
Met.
don't want him back. He back.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what you're looking at. I mean, unless you know,
I think you got to swallow your pride if he can give us something.
look at these bad. So maybe like Eric Fetty from the White Sox. Does that get you hard? Like I don't
What's Syndergaard doing these days?
like what are we doing here?
I think Syndergaard can still throw an inning of relief. I'm convinced.
Me too.
You want an
I think
ace?
he should swallow his pride and be a reliever.
You want an ace that you have to give up a ton for? That's not
Matt Harvey
scoopable.
doing?
Harvey, no, we can't have Harvey.
You want an ace? Garrett Crochet from the White Sox. He's going to cost you
Gotta
everything.
give up a lot though.
And you get him for 2 more years of control. But he also has an innings limit, potentially.
Yeah.
You know what I never understood in baseball? Like you get someone like Joe Flacco last year in the NFL who's like old, but he gave you like four
Why
good,
old baseball guys don't come back?
like for like a postseason run. Like you don't hear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. I mean, they're just,
That's a good point. Like football, why can a guy come off the couch for football?
Like,
Yeah.
they always like even like Phillip Rivers. I bet you that Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan are still like
Could
in
give you a couple
talks-
of games.
Are in talks with NFL teams. Like if you're in a QB emergency, like I'm gonna be ready to go.
Well, there's a pitcher the Yankees reach out to is on his couch right now, Rich Hill. The Yankees reached out to him, I guess, last week.
That's awesome.
He wouldn't help us. He's also 40. He's my age. He's 44.
It's a Long Island Duck.
Yes.
But yeah, Gary, I think we're in for a good. At least we got meaningful baseball through the summer. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's all you want.
Yep.
Be able to every night 7 o'clock, put the kids to bed, watch the game. It makes the summer enjoyable.
Yep. Appreciate it. All right. Good luck, buddy. Enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, Garrett.
Dukes, give me the next one.
Meek will.
Nikki C, Chicago.
Hey, how you doing, Bosco?
What's up?
You got a V-neck on today? You keep stretching that thing.
Yeah, I know. It's a little weak. It's been a while since I wore the
little weak.
V-necks. It's a weak.
Hey, Dozy, I was
It's
Malibu.
compromised.
What he said?
You have a good
That was
time?
Malibu.
Malibu is good. Malibu, San Diego, up and down the California coastline.
Oh, unbelievable. You're a fucking runner now, too, running.
Yeah,
You're a runner. You're a track star.
I am.
Hey,
Midlife,
Clemmer,
quarter
who
life
dressed
crisis.
you today? Hey, Clemmer, who dressed you today? Did your wife pick out those clothes? You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. No, I picked them out myself, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
No, you always look, how about it's a Friday? Clemmer, you're the king of Fridays, man. You come in there, you're always on Pick Central, you're always ready to go. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it, especially today. I got in late last night, so I thank you. I like that.
And Rat Race is doing numbies, too. Numbies.
I'm very happy with it. Thank
Go
you. I'm
check
very
it out.
excited. Yes, please watch Rad Race. Thank you.
Hey, real quick, I got a win total. I know it's not Wednesday.
Okay.
But those will like this. I was checking it out on the old DraftKings. We love DK. Shout out DK. Patriots over 6.5 wins. You bump it up a total plus 220. What do we think? I think
Wow.
Drake may shock the world.
I love it. I mean, me and Clemmer have our own bet right now. I think Patriots have to get 6 wins for me to win, right?
Is that what it was? 6, right?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
5 or less.
That's a lot
I
of
win.
wins. 6.5 is a lot of wins.
I think the Patriots are just going to be not good, but better than what people think.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's 7 wins.
Like I think the defense is going to be the defense.
Hey,
Christian
get to
Gonzalez is
7,
back.
7 and 10.
Weapons are better, and Drake May I think is going to be one of the better rookie quarterbacks.
Patriots gonna be horrible. That team is, and that division is so hard. That's the problem. It's like the AFC. If they
They
in
do
the
have a hard
NFC, I would feel
Vinny
differently.
Testaverde, Clemmer. Vinny Testaverde.
No. Why?
Yeah, I
Hey,
don't know.
last question. What do we think? Hey, you know my thoughts about Mush. I'll keep those to myself. But what do we think about a Yankees guy? Loves talking on the show. I get he's got his side show, Steal the Show. I know it's doing great for him. What do we think about the first pitch wearing a Cubs jersey?
I didn't hate that.
That's a
I mean,
big
it's
fault of us.
you can't wear somebody else's jersey out there. They're gonna give you they usually give you the jersey with the
Right.
name. That's part of the pop and sign.
I don't have a problem with it. I
didn't have a problem.
Now, if it was a Red Sox, Mets, Orioles, Blue Jays,
Right.
Rays, I think that's a different thing. But
Yes.
I feel like the Yankees played the Cubs in the World Series in 1932. Like that's the rivalry.
Yeah, they give you the jersey. That's part of the shtick. It's part of the act.
I guess they wanted him to pitch to throw it against the Yankees, and he said no.
Right.
So at least he had some,
I wouldn't be able to do that too. Yeah. So
some integrity, I guess.
appreciate it. All right. Thanks.
All right,
Nicky
fellas.
C.
You have a great weekend. Hey, Meek. Love you, brother.
Oh, wow. All right.
Thank
you,
you.
Nicky. That was very nice call.
Yes, I'm up, guy. Let me give you 2 NFL headlines before you go to the next calls. Dak Prescott says playing for another team may be a reality. Is he using this as just a negotiation
Of
tactic?
course, that's leverage. Okay.
Yeah. And then this is a little bit longer, but the Raiders doing the Kermit doll.
I haven't seen this.
The Raiders had a Kermit doll of Mahomes, kind of making fun of Mahomes. Jamar Chase won't say.
Oh, because he sounds like Kermit?
He won't say he's the best in the league. They won't say his name.
All right.
Why the hate? Is it hate just straight up jealousy from Mahomes?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, he's in their division.
What are the Raiders thinking, though?
The Raiders?
Yeah, you beat them on Christmas. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. You don't get to fucking do a Kermit doll.
I think there's got to be hatred. I mean, why do we hate on hatred?
I mean, as a
Jealousy.
Jets fan, I hated the Patriots, and a lot of that was they kept winning, and it sucked.
But the Jets aren't doing things where they're making fun of the Patriots. You can't, like, all right, you can hate them. Hate and making fun are different.
I mean,
the Raiders are trying to dunk on the Chiefs. You can't do that.
Yeah. I almost look at it almost as a sign of respect, though. The fact that they're in their head so much, like, that's...
It's a sign of respect to who?
The Chiefs and Mahomes.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
This was a debate me and my friends got into last night. We were leaving Citi Field, and I don't agree. I don't think every Mets fan feels this way, but when we're leaving Citi Field, some Mets fans started chanting like "fuck the Yankees."
Yeah, happens every time.
Goddamn worst.
It's the worst.
The goddamn
awful.
worst.
I
hate
get
that.
We're worried about the break.
I hate that.
get
We'll
that
win a game
perspective.
and they'll do that. It's
I
going to be
get that
crazy.
perspective.
Because I've said it a lot. Fans who go to games are dumb. There are a lot of fans who go to games.
I'm going
get
to a
that
game
perspective.
Sunday.
There
I'm
are a
done.
lot of fans who go to games who are dumb.
There's a lot of fans.
But Bosco,
Pin Man, fucking.
Pin Man. He's harmless.
He's a
He's
clown.
harmless, though. You like Cowbell Man?
No, he's a clown too.
but from my point
Cowbell
of
Man
view,
doesn't watch the game. He has his back
No.
to the game. He's doing the cowbell.
my point of view is like, I'm like, that is hilarious for me. Like, that guy isn't a Mets fan. That guy is a certified Yankees hater. And like,
Agreed.
someone that hates something more than they like something, for me, I enjoy. But like, it was weird to do at a Braves game.
I hate the Yankees.
So, like,
I would only cheer that when they're playing the Yankees.
I knew that guy was not a Mets fan. He was just a certified Yankees hater, which I personally.
100%. 100%. But yeah, it's the jealousy of Mahomes. I was like, the Raiders don't get to dunk on him, or they don't get to try to dunk on him.
Yankees don't leave stadiums going Mets suck,
No.
and that's why I get embarrassed when.
That's why they have banners.
Right.
And we don't. Because a lot of our fans are dumb. That's just the way it is.
Well, I mean, a lot of Yankee fans are dumb.
A lot of Philly fans are dumb too, though. But
Yeah, that's what
so
it
it
is.
is what it is. Phil, how many more you got?
Barry from Boston, you're on.
Hey, we're talking buyers and sellers. Wondering about Ted Sellers
Yes, my guy.
and Coleman.
Ted Sellers is maybe my favorite person, one of my favorite people I've met in the last 10 years, period. I love Ted. Ted was on the Kirk Minahan show last week. I hope he gets a lot more appearances. I am the biggest Ted Sellers guy in the world. I love Ted. So did you hear this story?
No, I didn't.
What a cunt Coleman is, huh?
Ted Sellers, he's in a wheelchair. He has brittle bone disease. He's in a wheelchair, and he was calling one of the games. He called one of the basketball games, and he did this show, and there was a time between doing the KMS and the basketball game. They went to a restaurant right around the corner, and Ted, he's a little guy, and he's on a bar stool. And Coleman's like, "Hey, I'll be right back. I gotta go put my uniform on, and I'll be right back." He goes right around the corner. He left Ted on that bar stool for an hour and a half, and he wasn't close to his wheelchair, and just like abandoned him for an hour and a half.
That's tough.
Isn't that fucked up?
That's really bad.
And I'll say this: I like Coleman a lot. Like as a guy working with him, Coleman's a good kid. Coleman fucks up a lot and everything. Yeah, but like Coleman is like the punctuality is a real thing. But I like Coleman as a person. That was the first time I took a step back. I was like, you could do that to Ted. Ted is the nicest guy in the world.
Tough.
Yeah, I didn't love that. What did you think, caller?
I think he's a piece of shit. Cunt.
Yeah, Coleman is a nice kid, but I don't know how you do that to Ted. And Ted is the nicest guy.
When's he back? Monday?
He's back. I guess Kirk said the suspension ends. I think the suspension ended now, right? Like after that show. So he's back. And Kirk said if he's 5 seconds late, 2 seconds late to anything ever, he's fired. Like that's almost impossible to live up to. Like even if you're super punctual.
Good riddance.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What do you bring back? You bring back Cullinane?
I don't know if Coleman does the TikToks now.
Yeah, I know.
He's a big TikTok guy. I don't know. I don't know what you do.
All right, have a good weekend,
All
fellas.
right, take
right.
it easy.
He's huge on TikTok.
He's huge.
Yeah.
He got in with the Karen Reed stuff.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, I didn't love that case because somebody died, but like I enjoyed following it.
It was
and
fascinating,
intricacies-
right?
Yeah, intricacies of the case. Cullinane did a great job covering it. Like, was on point. You know, some people covered like the Idaho murders, and they covered it like
Yes,
step
you're
by step.
absolutely
They
right.
still do, and you have to really be on top of your shit to be on true crime TikTok. Like you can't miss a beat. You have to
Right.
do it, then like follow the trial, get it up within 20 seconds. He killed it.
Conan is great with like enthusiasm. Like he gets super enthusiastic. I think he's like perfect for that TikTok. Like
So I don't get what happened with Coleman.
Showed up late.
I know that.
So he showed up-
No show to a.
yeah,
Park?
he was late back-to-back
Water Park.
days. He barely got there before the show started on a Friday, and the very next day, they were gonna go to Canopy Lake Park. Him and Justin, which is a theme park in New Hampshire, and he overslept.
And he went
again.
silent on Twitter.
No, Kirk said you're suspended. You're not allowed to be on social media during the suspension. The suspension now is off, so maybe he can go back on social now.
Wow.
It's been fascinating the last couple weeks on Kirk show, like with this stuff. It's been crazy. And then the TED stuff yesterday was wild.
And then the fucking Mick stuff.
And Mick, you got Mick. you got,
and Justin. Mick
That-
and
so-
Going up early in the morning.
that might be the move they make. They might bring Mick back.
I know.
I know. If you're not checking out, check that out for sure. Because the last couple weeks have been wild. And I think Coleman being back Monday is like must listen.
Yeah. It's seen. It's
Yeah,
the
it
whole thing
is.
a
It
scene.
always is. It always is.
Yeah. Give me the next one, Phil.
That's it.
That was it?
You got
All right,
cocky.
perfect. I did get cocky.
You got
I got
cocky.
cocky.
It's
on
always
that.
good to have Pick Central callers.
I got-
Pretty good. We had 3 really good callers. And then we had Mike Francesa. That's a win.
That works. Yeah. What do you got for picks tonight?
Let me pull them up right now. I'm sorry. Do you mind doing yours first?
Yeah, sure. I'm on the Diamondbacks. Gallon day. I want to take the Mets, but I don't want to fuck around with this. I
I'm
don't want to fuck around.
It's
with this
such
streak.
a like. It's Mets are minus 135.
Yeah, I know. It's
That was higher than I thought, right?
That's a weird line.
I got the Braves are still decent.
That's a weird line. Let me find a dog to take too.
I'm sorry. I'm having a tough time. Let me get in here. Come on. There we go. Okay. Okay, so like I said earlier, my pick of the day, Yankees over 4.5 runs. I'm really down on Bayo. He's also terrible on the road. He's terrible in night games. That's minus 130. I like the Twins run line today. Pablo Lopez has been pitching pretty well. His ERA is 4.8 for the year, but like 4 of his last 5 starts, he's been dominant. I don't like that Tigers lineup. And then I have a little plus money for you. Trevor Rogers, under 2.5 earned runs. He's facing the Brewers. Trevor Rogers, they don't leave him in games very long. So I think there's a good chance. He hasn't allowed 3 earned runs, I don't believe, in his last 4 starts. And the Brewers, they just lost Christian Yelich, possibly for the year. So that's already not a great lineup. They just lost a key piece. So those are my 3 picks.
Okay.
Oh, I got one more. I'm sorry. Gleyber Torres, over over 1.5 like hits, runs, and RBIs. Gleyber Torres owns Bayo.
Yeah.
So 4 picks. Sorry.
Okay.
What do you got? I knew you got Gallen, you said.
I got Gallon tonight. Yeah, I don't want to fuck with anything else. That's about it. Phil, what do you like tonight?
Chris Bryant home run plus 700. Just
Ooh.
feel something in the air.
Okay.
You just called him back. Just got him off the IL, right?
Yeah, he's facing Kyle Harrison.
Yeah, I don't hate that, Phil. I don't hate Chris Bryant, right? He's got to pick it up. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
hate that.
maybe it's just a night where it's like, oh wow, Chris Bryant homered. That's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
PLL is going to San Diego this week, and I'm taking the Boston Cannons.
Ooh.
Minus 1.5 against the Denver Outlaws. I just do not think the Outlaws are very good for any lacrosse people out there. The Water Dogs, down this year, but that doesn't mean they're bad. Just because you lose close games does not mean you're bad. They get 2.5 against one of the best teams in the league, the New York Atlas. I'm going to take the Dogs with the points, probably sprinkle some money line. This is a must-win for them. Besides that, Carolina Chaos against the California Redwoods. I got the Carolina Chaos minus 1.5. Those I all love, but probably the Boston Cannons one I love the most.
We have Hard Knocks coming when? For the Bears.
Who is it this year?
Bears.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think soon.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not a Hard Knocks guy.
I like it.
I'm not when it's like a random team that I didn't.
I'm excited for the Bears.
But I think this year, because I'm so over the summer.
Are you really? This is gonna be an all-time weekend. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
What's going on?
Why is it gonna be an all-time weekend? Because it's nice.
The weather. I think it's gonna be like perfect.
Yeah.
Why are you down the summer? You're a big summer guy.
Yeah, I know. I understand that, but it's listen. Summer hits a lot differently when you go to Aruba. I'll say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has been an all-time summer for me. I haven't had a summer like this in a while.
When you don't have like a full week off, it hits a little different.
We do have a full week.
We did.
I'm saying another week of vacation,
right.
like where you're going somewhere.
Don't you like
It is expensive to go over that week that we have off. I will.
Yeah.
Like I know that just like the way it moves out.
I mean, I
don't know. I just think it's a weird. Like I felt like summer started late. I felt like it's a little too hot. I felt like it's getting. I'm already looking forward to football. Maybe because the college football season is such a big deal this year.
I think you're getting
There's so
old.
much more to look forward to. I am getting old.
I mean, it's a big deal every year.
I don't have a lot of hobbies. What is, Phil?
The college football season. It's a big deal every year.
It's a big deal every year. This year is way bigger.
What can we need?
12 teams.
You need to get some hobbies. I'm serious. As you get older, it's
My only
very
hobby is
important.
watching sports.
You
No,
should
it's
play-
what else do you want to do?
Dude, let's play pickleball together.
There you go. I like that.
You would love pickleball.
It keep you
I'm
moving.
not good with the touch.
Or maybe we could teach you how to play chess. We can go to a park.
I know how to play
and,
chess.
Oh,
No, it's good to have
I
something
think
moving
pickleball
around.
would be good
Do
for
the
you.
pickleball.
All right.
You should
Pickleball would
have
actually be great for you. If you it's like you move a little bit, but you get active enough, burn enough calories. It's fun. It's competitive. You don't have to be like. It's pretty hard to be like bad at pickleball.
Yeah.
You like model cars or anything like that? Anything?
I don't like any of
No,
that.
no. You cannot become a model car guy.
I was trying to give him something to teach him patience.
I know.
All right, I see the
That's
perspective.
a good
there.
point. But
Do
yeah,
you like to collect anything?
memorabilia here and there
That's not a bad hobby.
in the basement.
Kind of like narrow in on one specific thing. You're kind of hunting for it online.
That's
That can be
it,
a nice thing to
yeah.
keep the brain going. I worry. You
You talk about patience, though. I mean, you coached me.
yes.
I had a lot of patience in that season.
I agree.
I never once lashed out.
No, you were one of the best.
Just win some games.
Yeah,
Sure, because there's like an extra game where something happened.
Oh no, we have a whole
Yeah.
we had an episode. We'll see. This
That wasn't part of the season. That was an exhibition.
yeah.
Look,
that was actually that's true. No, I enjoyed coaching Rico quite a bit. Rico was a dream. I want you to be the coach. I've said
We'll
you
see.
should coach.
The fall is a little too tight.
Who are the worst three people to coach, or most difficult?
Jack Mack, Tommy, Gia wasn't a dream to coach.
There's a point in the game. There's a point in the game last night when Tommy takes that shot that Clemmer will attest to. I'm going like this. Yank him.
Yeah, I go never again.
I'm going yank
But
him.
I definitely, if you haven't watched it, watch the episode 3. You watch Tommy. I ripped Tommy Smoke's scrotum out in 20 minutes or less. He starts that episode so hot, and by the end, he's kissing my feet. It's the saddest display of masculinity you'll ever see. Watch the Dana Beers video.
Yeah.
Watch me rip out a man's scrotum.
All right, that is Pick Central. Yak is up next. We'll enjoy it. Enjoy a good week.
Enjoy the great weekend.
Out of baseball. See you on Monday.